Hi all, welcome to iTech Trip. My name is Lakshmi Reddy Motati and I'm working as a technical architect as well as online and corporate trainer. I have 13 plus years of experience in Java, JD application design and development. As part of this demo, I'll be covering what all the technologies which we'll need for working as a full stack developer and a typical application flow and what can be expected from this course by the students and prerequisite for this course. Okay. Let's get started with what is a typical application flow which we have in the current market. So if you see this one, like this diagram shows like it has three areas. One is UI area, that is like a mobile user interface area where it can be mobile or desktop or tablet or any other interface. Whereas we can call this as a middle layer. So it can be a Java application or .NET or some other PHP application. And then we have a backend, we will call it as a database. Okay, so it can be a MySQL. This can be a relational or it can be a non-relational, that is NoSQL database like a big data or Hadoop. Okay, so whereas like if you see this flow, the user can submit some data from his mobile or from his desktop. So all this data will be coming to this application in the form of some request. And this application here, which takes the request and process that request, that means reads all the values into this application layer. And then later it will send this data into database using some DB queries, that is SQL queries, or maybe some, if it is a non-relational like Mongo, it can be a Mongo queries. And then database like here it will insert the data and then send the response, either it is a success message or failure message. Based on this message, this application layer it reads the message and performs some logic over here, and then it will send the response back to this client. Whereas if you take enterprise application, similar request can be processed by multiple applications. So where request will be coming from either it is application or it is a user interface to this layer. Here, this layer can be RESTful service or maybe Spring MVC or any other layers, where the same request will be sent to another application if it involves in contacting some other third party or another applications, and get the response data and then send the response again back to this layer. With this in mind, like we have designed a course with the 4 modules. One is core Java, where we'll be covering all the JDSC concepts, including IO and ETL and JDBC package. And the frameworks, like the most important frameworks which we need to develop this middle layer, that is Spring IOC, RESTful Web Services, and Hibernate or JDBC. That is either one I'll be covering. So mostly we'll be covering Hibernate for interacting with the database. And for UI layer, that is for user interface layer, I'll be covering JavaScript and AngularJS. And once we're done with all these 3 layers, we'll have some mini project development, in which like we'll be teaching all the real-time tools like GitHub, Eclipse, Gradle, and project framework, like what is a project framework and what is a project architecture in real time, and how do you do the unit testing for your code which you develop in, and if any problem occurs in the application, how are you going to debug. So these kind of things we'll be teaching as in the project module. And apart from these 3 modules, like as a complementary, I'll be taking the mock interviews and I'll be conducting some tests to the students and help them in resume preparation. So these mock interviews and tests, it is to make sure that students are preparing in the right direction. And the current demanding technologies, like based on the above application flow, so the demanding technologies like core Java, Spring IOC, RESTful services development is using Spring REST or Spring Boot or ZC Apache, but the most important at present is Spring Boot. And for database layer, like we have Hibernate and Spring JDBC, and then we have for UI we have JavaScript and AngularJS. These are the current technologies which are in demand at present in the market. And end of this course, what you can expect is like you will become an expert in reading and writing and understanding Java language, and you are comfortable to write any program in Java JTE language. But if any requirement, either it is a simple core Java requirement or it is a JTE requirement, so you will be very much comfortable to write code for those requirements. And I can sure that you will be competitor for the candidates who are already working in the industry from last 4 to 5 years. Okay, so once you completed this course, means you are going to be a competitor for the candidates who are already working in the industry. And finally, you don't need to depend on any proxies for clearing your interviews. So we'll make sure you can clear your interviews yourself. So the prerequisite for this course is you do not need to have any prior programming knowledge. Even if you come with empty knowledge, then that should be fine. But all we need is you should have a willingness to learn this a separate language which just contains 50 words, and you need to spend 2 to 3 hours per day for 2 months. So these are the two requirements. If you have these, if we made these two requirements, then that should be enough for taking this course and to become a full stack developer. Okay. Coming to the durations wise, so total this for full stack developer, for core Java, we need 25 to 30 sessions. For frameworks, I need 20 sessions, and for UI, that is JavaScript and Angular, I need 15 sessions, and project it is going to be 10 to 15 sessions. So each session is going to be 2 hours. That's going to be about 1 hour 45 minutes class, and then 15 minutes per queries. Okay. So that's it about this session. And if you have any queries on this course, please contact to the given below numbers like USA and India numbers. And feel free to mail for any queries. If you want to mail it, please feel free to mail it support@itech3.com. Thank you.